So we've just come out the village of Rocester, following the road from Buttercross. There's the JCB World Headquarters over there, which you can see at the end of part 14 when I did an extra walk around the lake there. In fact, yeah, the lake's just there, so I must have just been behind those trees. So we're going to cross the road and we're heading that way to the village of Alton. Oh, I can see hills. I presume we're actually going onto the lake then. My map's saying turn right there, and there's a path just up there somewhere, but let's go and have a quick look at the lake. We walked that in the end of part 14. This is a long waffle, isn't it? I might be going the wrong way because I'm waffling. Okay, so all that waffling and I went the wrong way. When I crossed the main road, I should have took a left across the grass, which would have brought me up to this roundabout here. Because the path I need is this way, and I've just walked to the lake. So I don't need to head on to JCB, unless you want to do that extra little detour, which I would recommend. It's a lovely walk. Sometimes when you do the detour though, you get to see extra bits like this that I may not have seen. There's the crossing. I went off that way to the lake and I come out down there. I've walked back. I should have crossed over and just walked along this little grass bit here and cross this road. I think this is the path we want. No signs though. Right, I've just come through the gate. I wasn't sure. This looked like a dead end, a bit overgrown, and then just before the dead end bit there was a little gap here and a public footpath sign there. But the reassuring thing, not that one, that wasn't so reassuring. That was. Right, so it looks like we're heading up there. Welcome back to the Staffordshire Way. I've continued up the field, and the path that I'm on is veering away to the right. But my map is saying I should be right over there somewhere. Now there was a stile all the way back there, and I do mean all the way back there, past the cows, past the trees. So maybe there was a path more alongside the river. I'll just presume that that's down the field. That's all Denstone, all the way up to there, and the only way out is a gate that's locked up there, so there's no way out here. Backtrack! Back along the field, then down that steep embankment to the stile. There's no Staffordshire Way signs. There's a public footpath sign this side of the stile, as if you're coming out. But this path, well, treacherous because it's wet and very overgrown. Can see a bridge down there though, so maybe it'll get better in a minute. What a shame, some of these sections don't seem to be getting walked, unless I'm on the wrong path, which is a very good possibility as well. Now we're up there. It's got to be up there. This is a bit different. There's a bit of a path showing now, but there's a bit of a small drop there, so it's not suitable for all, this one. Like I say, that's if I am on the right track. But it is all fenced up. That's where I was. It's all fenced off up there, barbed wire fencing and brambles, so this, according to the map, unless they've changed the route, this has got to be the way. Now, I'm not moaning, I like that sort of thing, but I just want you lot to know, in case you come out here and it's not your type of thing. It's a bit, it's a bit slippy because it's wet, it's a bit narrow in places and it's a bit overgrown. Right like that. It's been a bit of an adventure, just be careful. We are on the right track. I've managed to get to this little tiny stile and we spotted this. Now, let's have a good walk now, let's carry on, let's not get any more wrong. Let's get this done. We're going to have a walk to Alton, Staffordshire Way. Well, that little stile was just there, and we've come along this grass, but I've noticed if you are walking the other way, you might not, you would probably just, from this way, you would probably just carry on down there. Now it'll be interesting to know where that does take you. Maybe it's a better path. Does it just follow the river? Does it lead you out onto that field that we was on further up? But that's the way, according to the signs on my map, you're supposed to turn off if you're doing the walk the opposite way. So I thought I'd just put that in for you. Now we carry on. So we walk through the fields, over a few stiles. It is basically a straight line through the middle of the fields, and you come out here at this gate, and then we do a left, just opposite that lovely gateway and entrance. And we cross this bridge. We're on Quixhill Lane and we're heading into the village of Denstone. Denstone or Denstone? I'm going to say Denstone. So at the roundabout we take a right here. The village of Denstone is just down there. Now I'm going to miss it out because I'll be walking back, so I may get a chance to have a little look on the way back. We're heading up here and then we're taking a right just off the road somewhere. I don't know why we've had to come up that lane, over the bridge, down the slippy steps, and climb under a fence to get onto here. When I'm presuming at the roundabout, if we'd have gone straight across, we could have picked this trail up further down and gone on it. I mean, it is a shortcut. So we're heading this way on this old railway route. Now I have walked part of this before near Alton Towers many years ago, near a village that I can't remember what it was called. If it comes to me, it'll come up on the bottom of the screen. So we're heading here and we leave this track to continue on the Staffordshire Way, which is a bit of a shame. This is why I plan to walk back. I thought I'll walk to Alton and then I'll jump on this trail and walk back into Denstone along this trail, and then maybe along the road to try and get back to the car at Rocester. So that's the plan. Let's see if it works. When I come down to the bridge from the road, the public footpath sign was sort of pointing straight along the field, and if I had stayed in the field I'd have run parallel with this railway walk and I would have come down here, and I can see a bit of a bridge there. So I'm wondering if that was the Staffordshire Way, stay in the field, because I had to crawl under the fence, which I just presumed was the path because it's a straight line on my map. I presumed it was using this railway line, but maybe it uses the field. So I'm going to go and explore. It's not far before we come off the railway line. It's a shame that. I don't know why it doesn't use the railway. I think you can get to Alton. along the railway line. Now this is pretty steep, so it's not recommended. I'd say do the way that I've done it. And then if you fancy a little detour off the Staffordshire Way, I'd say use the railway walk. See, there is a stile there in the bridge. When you cross over the railway bridge, you take a right and you stay in the field. I would much prefer to walk into Denstone and pick up the railway trail, but it looks like we shouldn't have even been on it. I've just crossed that dodgy bridge. You don't have to do that. So it looks like the Staffordshire Way. We'll just pretend I walked through the field. I'm not going back. I saw people up there when I was on the railway track walking along the edge of the field, and it made me think perhaps I should have stayed that way. Okay, so it looks like now we're back on the Staffordshire Way. We're running parallel with the old railway, which is just to my right somewhere, unless it's passed under us, because it did feel like that I'd took a little left and then I'd come back on myself and the railway had disappeared, but I get disorientated very easily. This way's hilly as well. That path's flat. Anyway, we're doing the Staffordshire Way, so I'm going to stop me moaning and crack on with it. One more moan before I go. Another reason for the railway trail, you don't get none of these big black and white creatures that produce milk. Well, this is a different sort of style crossing. You've got your electric fence there. It's a bit worrying because you're passing through the metal. You don't want to get a shock, but you don't. Anyway, the reason I put the camera back on, do I go there or over there? The reason I put the camera back on before I carry on, I was having a bit of a moan back there. Whether I'll leave that in the video, I don't know. If I do, I'm going to say I was wrong, because yes, there is a lovely flat railway path down there, and I've had to walk up this small hill and navigate cows and the stiles, but then maybe the views are not so good from down there in that valley, because coming up here there's a stunning view there of a hillside with the cloud covering the top that you may not see from down there. So I'll take it back. I'm going to have to go now because I'm not sure if I'm walking this way or down the hill. What I love as well about these walks is you learn something. Sometimes you walk along and there's something that you don't understand, and I get back. There's quite a lot in this world that I don't understand. I get back home and have a little look and search, and this is interesting me. Since we've come out of the field a while back onto this, I'm going to call it a bridleway, this pathway, there's been a lot of old stone path, so this must be some sort of historic way. I don't think they've just been placed here, they're old. Something I have no idea why. Maybe if you're local to the area or you know, I may find out myself when I get back and do a little search. Why there's all these great big stones along this path. Come through the gate and it was like pointing straight up, and I could see this gap here, which I presumed was the way through, but it's not. There's a gate to the right and there's another gap to the left, so we'll try the left first. That wasn't a gap to the left, and then I looked on the map, my line's saying down there, so we'll try right now. Right, I think when I just crossed that stile, I sort of crossed the stile and took a left. There was a straight on and a left. As I've been walking, I've noticed I've come away from the map. I think I should have took the straight on, which may have brought me down there, or this maybe I should have got. It's saying I should have gone diagonally through this field of crop, which I get quite a lot. And if there's no visible path, I tend to go around the edge. But I can see what looks like a stile down here, so I think we're coming back onto the path. That's pointing the way. It's sort of pointing that way, which is where I come from. So you can either go up there and do a, or you can go there and do a. You're supposed to go there, but obviously if there's a big crop like that, you've got to go around it. At least we're on the right track. This is the village of Alton. So thanks for watching, see you in the next one. Ta-ra. There's the JCB Academy over there. The JCB